Welcome to another Sunday WOAY ABC4 Community Forum, where we talk to community leaders and local success stories to discuss important information that affects all of us here in Southern West Virginia. I'm your host, Brandy Lawrence, and today we're joined by another distinguished guest. Dr. Amelia Courts, who is the President and CEO of Education Alliance, joins us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the forum.
Thank you, Brandy, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course, of course. So, for the people out there, can you tell us what Education Alliance is and what you all do?
Sure. So the Education Alliance is a statewide nonprofit. We mobilize business and community support for public schools. So we're kind of that middleman, if you will, that tries to really build connections between business and community and K-12 education. And our nonprofit organization has been around for 40 years. We're actually celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, which is a big deal for us, and we're really pleased and proud of the rich history that we have in West Virginia.
Oh, definitely. And what is your goal, as an organization?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we mobilize business and community support for public schools, and we really do that in three ways. First of all, we provide programs that equip students for success. So we, again, try to fill gaps that might exist in some of the programming that are offered and bring resources so that they touch students and help them be better prepared for success after high school graduation. So that's our first goal, is equipping students. Our second goal is mobilizing business and community support. So one of the ways that we provide those programs is by going to businesses and knocking on their door and community members and saying, hey, we've identified a need here. Can you help us meet that need? And so that's our second goal, mobilizing business support. And then our third goal is really advancing innovation in education. A lot of times, business leaders or community members will have ideas about, or even maybe if the schools have ideas and the business leaders want to support those ways to advance innovation. So those are really our three goals that we work on.
Oh, all right. Well, that sounds great. And can you tell me, well, we've talked about the goals, but are there any like new ideas or strategies that Alliance wants to integrate into those goals?
Sure. So specifically on the first goal, I'm really excited to tell you about a program that we have going on during the month of March. And it is providing virtual college visits for middle school students. So we know that visiting a college is important, but we don't want to wait until kids are juniors or seniors to start thinking about that. So if you go to our website, educationalliance.org, and you can find a link that has 18 different colleges that are offering virtual visits during the month of March. And so the visits will be held by the colleges, so their admissions officers will support the visits. They're 1 hour each and they're free. So a classroom teacher could go to the website and say, I want to visit Southern. I want my class to visit Southern. And so they register on the website, and then on that day and time, Southern will come on Zoom. Education Alliance does all the legwork. We have all of the links. So they just register, and then on that day, Southern is connected with the local middle school. Sometimes they bring their school mascot onto the visit. They'll talk about the different programs that they offer at the college. And, it's a great way to get younger students to understand the many different colleges, both 2-year and 4-year, that we have in West Virginia, and to see for themselves what those colleges look like and feel like.
Wonderful. So for the middle school kids, this is just kind of getting their mindset ready to, if I want to go to college, I need to do this, and this to go ahead and get ready for high school so I can be set up properly.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. Neither one of my parents went to college. They were great parents. I still do have a great mom and dad, but they really didn't know, how to help me think about college. And so what this does is it shows middle school students that are interested that if they want to go to college, they can do it, and it can be a fun experience. They talk about things like financial aid. So again, that idea of how do I pay for college, that's intimidating, right? So having that opportunity to talk in very student-friendly language. They often bring in other students, current students of the college, to those tours. And so they'll speak the student language and really make it, an appealing opportunity for students that are interested.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And are there any schools in our region that are participating?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. So Concord is offering their college visit on March the 16th at 1 p.m. And Southern Community Technical College is March the 23rd at 9 a.m. And the really cool thing is, if a middle school would like to join, again, just go to the website, click register. It's free, 1 hour. But if those times don't work for them, they can also register to receive the video recording. So we're recording those visits, and they can watch them at a later date or time with their students. And even if they want to do a visit of a college not in this region, we have WVU and some Marshall and some of the other colleges across West Virginia. So again, in middle school, we really want students to think broadly and to see as many different colleges as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And you've done this already, with some of the students. How has that worked out so far?
So this is actually our third year. Last year we had over 5,000 students that joined the virtual visits, and all of them participate in a survey. And this year, one thing that we're doing that's really cool is for when students complete the survey, it's very simple, like 4 or 5 questions after the visit. We're doing a drawing each week to give away 2 laptops. So we know from our student data last year that students did learn a lot about college and really found it to be an informative and helpful process for them.
That's wonderful. And then let's get into that second goal, the mobilizing business and community support. How does Education Alliance, do this?
Well, as I mentioned, the second goal is really about going to the business, knocking on their door, picking up the phone, or also through contacts. We have a fantastic board of directors, and our board members are really statewide. We have board members from all across West Virginia, and they represent a variety of industries, everything from banking and finance and energy and healthcare, the legal profession, manufacturing, and technology. So our board members are really great resources in helping mobilize business and community support. But I'd say there are 2 examples of, how we do that. And one of the really cool ones, I was in Southern West Virginia on Monday, and I got to see our AmeriCorps Mentor program. So for our AmeriCorps Mentors, we're actually leveraging community volunteers that are in the schools and volunteer to do a paid volunteer opportunity to mentor students that are at risk and maybe need a little bit of extra support. So that mentoring can be game-changing for students. A lot of times I know teachers talk about absenteeism. So, obviously it's hard to teach students if they are absent frequently. So what that mentor can do is really support the student and say, hey, I noticed that you weren't at school yesterday, or I noticed that you've been tardy twice this week, and talk to them about, how valuable they are and how important it is for them to come to school, and really be that one caring adult. So that AmeriCorps program is just one of the examples of mobilizing business and community support. And I have one more. Okay. So the other program that we do is more on the business side, and this is where we actually bring work-based learning into the classroom for high schools. And we piloted it with Independence High School in Raleigh County, and it brings a different business into your classroom every single week. And the business joins either by Zoom or sometimes in person, and they share about their business. They talk about the kinds of careers that they offer, because it's really important for students to think about careers like you. I know as a journalist, many students might not know about, what their future career is going to look like. So this work-based learning opportunity is a great showcase of how we mobilize business and again connect them with public schools.
That's wonderful. And like, if any businesses or any business people watching right now, if they wanted to join, could they reach out to you all? And
that is a great question, and we would really welcome more businesses to join us. In this particular program, we're kind of like a matchmaker. So the more businesses we have, the more students we can serve, and the more schools that we can connect with these opportunities. So I would really encourage business leaders to reach out to us and volunteer for this opportunity. We make it super easy. You don't have to plan a lot. Some businesses actually take their phone and they do like a live stream around their business to kind of give students a real-time shot of what the business looks like. They talk to the different employees and learn about the different jobs in the business. And absolutely, we would love to have more business partners join us in this work-based learning program.
all right, all you business people out there, get in touch with Education Alliance and, come help the kids, show them what there is to offer career-wise. All right, so we're, rolling up on our first break, but, before we go, could you look into this camera here and kind of give them your contact information of where they can find you all?
Absolutely. So we have a really great website, educationalliance.org. And on that website, you'll find the college visits information, you'll find the work-based learning, or, pick up the phone and call us. Our number is 304-342-7850. You can also email me, amelia@educationalliance.org. We'd love to hear from you and connect.
All right, thank you so much. All right, and that wraps up our first half. Come back on our ABC4 Community Forum, where I speak more with Dr. Amelia Courts about Education Alliance. All right, I'm playing the music, so. Welcome back to Sunday Community Forum. I am here with Dr. Amelia Courts, the President and CEO of Education Alliance, and we're talking about everything that the organization is doing right now. So we're going to get into that third goal of career readiness. What type of activities and type of events do you have going on to support career readiness?
Well, I'm really super excited to talk to you about this third goal because it's very timely. So during the month of March, we are having on March 30th an Ed Talk. So your viewers may have heard of TED Talks before. TED Talks are, where they have different speakers and they talk about different topics and they record them and then they offer them on video. So the Education Alliance actually has the trademark for Ed Talks. And our Ed Talk theme this year is The Sky's the Limit. And it's really about inspiring students and having that positive outlook for West Virginia, for our community, and especially for our students. So that Ed Talk is happening March 30th, and it's a lunchtime event. So we offer free lunch. You can register again on our website. But the really cool thing is you'll get to hear 2 Ed Talks at the March 30th event. And the first Ed Talk will be by the 2023 State Teacher of the Year, and her name is Amber Nichols. And I've actually had the opportunity to visit Miss Nichols' class. She teaches kindergarten in Mon County, up in Morgantown, and she's going to talk about how important it is to start off at a young age with positive education environment and support for students. And again, with that theme, the sky's the limit, she'll be sharing her perspective as a kindergarten teacher. And I know Amber is a super positive person, and she's just so inspiring. She's just fantastic. If you've ever had the chance to hear a Teacher of the Year, I mean, they're just phenomenal. So we're really pleased to have her. And then our second speaker is really also inspiring. His name is Mr. Bill No, and he is the Chief Aviation Officer for Marshall University. So again, we have that theme, the sky's the limit. And the Ed Talk will actually be held at the Yeager Airport Marshall Flight School. Wow. So the attendees will get to see some of the very cool airplanes that are a part of that flight school. They'll see the flight simulator, which I have seen. It's amazing. It actually looks like you're, not you, the observer, but you, the students, are piloting the airplane. And they will also get to hear from Bill No about the opportunities for careers in aviation. Apparently right now there is a real lack of pilots across the country. Many pilots have retired. We know, the COVID pandemic kind of impacted the aviation industry. And so now for the next, I think it's 20 years, there's going to be a constant need to refill pilots across the country. So the flight school, he'll be talking about that. And then the other piece is aviation mechanics. So even if you don't want to be a pilot, they also have a maintenance school where you learn how to work on the airplanes and get your certification and safety and training and all that technology. So those are our two speakers for Ed Talks.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And the sky's the limit, that's a really cool theme, especially because West Virginia has a very big aviation history, which I was unaware of until, maybe a couple months ago when I was reading more about, the Yeager Airport and how WVU Tech, they're trying to get an aviation program as well. So yeah, that would be a really awesome theme. What about the other Ed Talks that you've done? Do they all undergo like a theme like this? Or?
Yes, they all have a different theme, and we try to, again, make it connected to business and education, specifically in that K-12 space. And even though we're going to be at Marshall University, our speakers are going to be talking about the sky's the limit for young people, starting in kindergarten, middle school, high school. What do we need to do to really inspire students and equip them for success? And they're also going to be talking about the positive opportunities in West Virginia. Again, that there is a lot of optimism right now. You mentioned, more training available and also more businesses coming to our state. And those are the kinds of things that students need to be prepared for, and we want the community obviously to be inspired as well. So we want moms and dads and grandparents, we want educators and business leaders to learn about these opportunities so they can spread the word to their children and grandchildren and to the broader community.
Definitely, yeah, because getting kids to work, speaking with Amber Nichols, being a kindergarten teacher, I do find that, the younger you are, when people, influence you to enjoy your education, the better it is, throughout your, career, going to school and things, especially, encouraging you to, continue on.
You're exactly right. Those early grades are so important. the messages that we send our students and our children, right? Messages of encouragement, optimism, personal dreams. We want our students to really believe in themselves and to see the opportunities and to go for it. So you're absolutely right. I can't wait to hear Amber's Ed Talk, and we would invite you to come as well. I know you're very busy, but we would love to have you join us and all of our viewers to come for that Ed Talks. Again, it's a free 1-hour lunch event, and we'd love to have folks join us for that.
Wonderful. Yeah, definitely. So everybody out there, March 30th, correct? March 30th, come out to the Ed Talk and get some free lunch and some, motivation for education. And how do these Ed Talks tie into innovation?
That's a great question. So again, it's the idea of bringing new information to the broader community. For Ed Talks, we're not really talking directly to students. We're talking to community members, right? But we know if education, schools and teachers, principals are going to offer new programs such as STEM programming or getting students interested and prepared for aviation, some of those career technical programs. We know that the families need to be supportive and aware of that and what that means for their students as well. So building that broad base of support for innovation. Again, this particular Ed Talk is about the aviation and the sky's the limit, but any Ed Talk is just about building the support for the change and the future and the innovation that schools are pursuing.
Wonderful, wonderful. And anybody that wants to be involved in Education Alliance or help out, how can they get involved?
That's a great question also. We are only as strong as our partners. So there's many opportunities. People can volunteer for a one-time opportunity just by calling us or emailing us. We have lots of mentoring opportunities. Again, sharing your personal story about your career. That's a great way to really support schools because teachers don't have the time to go out and connect with all of the different businesses and bring them into schools to speak. So that's another opportunity. But any way that you would like to give back to K-12 education, we're happy to connect you. We're also, as I mentioned, statewide. So here in this county and neighboring counties, we would be happy to connect you and just reach out on our website or by phone.
Wonderful, wonderful. And personally, for you, what really got you into Education Alliance? What sparked your love for education?
That's a great question. Education has been a game changer for me. It's opened so many doors, and the one thing that I've had the opportunity to visit schools across West Virginia, and the one thing that really stood out to me when I visited a strong school that was really successful is almost all of them had strong principals, they had strong teachers, but that third leg, they had strong community and business support. Their parents were engaged, their businesses were engaged, their community was engaged, and so that idea of building out that third leg of support to really make strong schools is what attracted me to the Education Alliance. And again, we're only as strong as our partners, so I've been really really blessed to have great board members and great business partners during my time at the Alliance.
Definitely. And the way you even describe that of how the community, the businesses, and the schools come together, it really is an alliance.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is an alliance. And again, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. So our organizers way back in 1983, they chose that word for a reason, and we do our best to live up to that goal and to help bring that support to our teachers and our administrators that are working really hard on behalf of students every day.
Wonderful. And going into, 40 years, is there anything, you would want to see new, like anything that you would want to incorporate to keep you going for the next 40 years?
Sure. Well, we're actually planning a celebration in December of this year, but our theme for our anniversary is Give, Serve, and Celebrate. So I think the idea of continuing to focus on giving and serving is what I see leading us into the next 40 years. It's great that we have opportunities now, but I'd like to strengthen those. I'd like to be in more schools and have more business and community partners that really do, stack hands so that we can get more things done. And that's my goal for the next, decade or 40 years of the Education Alliance.
Oh, wonderful. And we got a couple more, colleges here in Southern West Virginia. If you guys want to partner with them, I know WVU Tech and Beckley.
Absolutely.
They have a lot going on there all the time. And then you mentioned Concord, that's my alum.
Okay.
So, and then I do know that, Bluefield State, they do things a lot too. So, sky's the limit.
You're right. And we would welcome any of our higher education partners to partner with us on future college visits.
Right, so you all hear that, business people, college people, the Education Alliance is looking to partner with you. So one more time, for the people out there, can you give them the contact information where they can get in touch with you?
Sure. Please visit our website, educationalliance.org, and our phone number is 304-342-7850, or you can also email me at amelia@educationalliance.org.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today again and telling us all about Education Alliance.
It's been my pleasure, Brandy.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you
great
for having me.
conversation.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you all for joining us as well. Be sure to get in touch with Education Alliance and see all that they have to offer. The Ed Talk is on March 30th, and be a part of the community, a part of the Alliance, and really nurture this next generation of students. And be sure to come back next week for our next community forum, where we speak to another distinguished guest about what's going on here in Southern West Virginia. Have a great day.